Hey everybody, my name is Matej Milenovic. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Porkchop. So, for those of you who don't know about us, we specialize in miniature electric propulsion technology for very, very small satellites. And we began as a group of students around 2.5 years ago out of KTH in Stockholm. We learned that there are more and more people that want to launch smaller and smaller satellites into space to do insane things. But they were very limited in terms of what they could achieve with these small satellites. We came to the realization that we need to give these people the freedom of movement in space, which is why we developed our first product, Porkchop X. Fast forward around 2.5 years, and we recently filed our first patent. This was a big deal because we could significantly compress the electronics required to power these thrusters. And I'm very pleased to say that very soon, the first ones are flying in orbit, with more joining them in early 2022. However, at some point during our development, we came to the realization that there's a fundamental limit to how big of an impact we could create by just selling propulsion systems to satellite developers. We realized that since the beginning of time, we have always looked to our planet when we needed resources. We look at the forest when we need trees. We look at lakes and rivers when we need water. We mine coal and precious metals, and this is fundamentally not sustainable. We have a very limited resource of these things. And our whole philosophy has shifted to, instead of looking down at our home planet for resources, what if we looked up? And this is what we're working on. Our vision at Porkchop is to allow all of humanity to benefit from the resources that are in space. If we can overcome the technological and economical barriers to achieving this, there's no stopping us. And the best example that I can give you today is that of cobalt. So cobalt is a key element in a lot of batteries. And we all know that today, everybody and their uncle wants to have an electric vehicle. So this means that demand for cobalt is through the roof. But we have a very limited supply of it. And worse still, the countries that mine this cobalt don't have the best human rights track record. They pollute their local environment. And all of this suffering to the local environment, the local people, for something that is fundamentally limited. And the best example I can give you is imagining our planet and her resources as a little pea, and the rest of the solar system's resources as the rest of the vegetable aisle. So there's a lot more out there. And this is what we're working on at Porkchop. Our plan is to establish an interplanetary economy that would allow us to, for the first time, tap into the resources of our solar system. We want to enable companies to mine asteroids, to send resupplies to lunar and Mars bases, to explore the outer planets and their moons. This is what we're working on. I'd like to thank you all so much for your time and attention. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop me or ask me on Hopin. Thank you very much.